Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is where we help sound teams at local churches just like yours get confident behind the console. And today we have a very simple but common question. What is a DI box? What is it for? And do I need one? So let's break it down. DI stands for direct injection. So a DI box is a small piece of gear and it helps you to connect instruments like keyboards and acoustic electric guitars and basses into the sound system the right way. So here's the problem. If you want to connect something like a keyboard or a bass or a guitar to the sound system, right, to the mixer, it's usually going to send out signal using a cable like this, and these cables are what we call unbalanced cables, an unbalanced signal or high impedance. It sends out unbalanced and with high impedance, but your mixer wants balanced and with low impedance. So that mismatch causes buzz and noise and maybe even low signal. So we want to be able to fix that. And that's where a DI box comes in. So you'll use a DI box anytime a musician wants to connect a keyboard or a bass or an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, any instrument that has a signal coming out of it using a 1/4 inch or instrument cable, you're gonna wanna use DI box. This is gonna keep your mix clean and professional, even if you're in a small church. That's what this is for. All right, so here's how it works. You're gonna take your instrument, like a keyboard, bass, guitar, whatever it is, and connect one end of the instrument cable to the instrument, and the other end, you're going to connect it to the input of the DI box. Now, some DI boxes look like this, some are green, some are different brands, but you're gonna connect it to the input of this box. Then, you're gonna take an XLR cable and come out of the output of the DI box, and this is going to go either to your stage box or directly to your console, to your mixer. It all depends how you have it set up at your church. At our church, what we have is we have a stage box, and then that runs all the way back to the console that we have over there. Some DI boxes are passive, meaning they don't need any extra power for it to work. But some are active, and they do need extra power or electricity for it to work. So it's gonna require a battery, or it's going to require for you to activate the 48 volts or the phantom power on your mixer. If it's active, it's going to need power. If it's passive, it won't. Now, let's say your bass player, for example, or your guitar player wants to use their amp as well, and they want to send the signal not only to you at the console, but also into the amp so that they can hear themselves or so that they have some kind of reference for them on stage or on the altar. So this is what you would do. You would come out of the instrument, out of the bass, into the input of the DI box with a 1/4 inch cable, and then using another 1/4 inch cable, another instrument cable, you'd come out of the through into the input of the amp. And then as usual, you would come out of the XLR output of the DI box into your stage box or into your console. That will get you clean signal at the mixer, but also send them an independent signal over to their amp. You will also notice that most DI boxes have 2 buttons or switches. The first one is the lift or the ground switch. What this does is if you ever connect this to your mixer and you still hear a loud buzz or hum, by pressing this button right here, it can eliminate that hum or that buzz. And what that is this removes the ground connection between the input and the output, and it breaks that connection so that it eliminates many times the buzz or the hum that you hear coming out of your system. The second button that you'll see is a pad. What this does is it reduces the signal going out to your mixer by certain decibels. Sometimes you'll see that it is just a button and it'll reduce it by this amount, by in this case, -15 dB. In other cases, you'll see a switch where you can choose between 0 or -5 or -10 dB. So what that does is it reduces the amount of gain that you're sending from this DI box, from your signal, over to your mixer. This happened to us just a few weeks ago where I connected an acoustic guitar to the DI box, to the stage box, and at the console, I was just cranking up the gain. The guitar player was cranking up his volume, and I still couldn't get enough volume coming to the console. What we realized was that there was a pad on the DI box that was reducing the amount of signal coming to the console, and I had to compensate over at the console by just cranking up the gain. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, trace the signal to see where the problem is. Is it on the guitar? Is it on the DI box? Is it at your console? But don't forget that you have a pad on your DI box that could be the culprit. So that's it. If you're volunteering on the sound team at your church, I have a free checklist that I want to send your way. It's in the link in the description below. And it's a checklist of things that you can do before service, during service, and after service that will level up your mix and help you feel more confident on the sound team. It's completely free. You can print it, you can laminate it, you can keep it on your phone, but it's a good guide to help you come Sunday morning so that you can do this confidently and make this sound excellent. I want to remind you that what you're doing on your sound team is important. You're making an impact in people's lives because what you're doing is you're creating a distraction-free, excellent sounding service so that people can hear the gospel. So the fact that you're on this team, it makes a huge difference. So if you like this video, like it, share it with the rest of your team, and leave comments below. If you want to learn how to do something or have any questions, leave a comment below and I'm more than happy to help. That's what I'm here for. So God bless you. May God use you this weekend, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.